cold fall day in 2012, Jeff and I set out to examine a field of sinkholes near Toronto with a view to finding caves beneath.
Squeeze in there.
Sure. So, again, here's another little sinkhole or blind valley in the area. Well-known studies being done here by McMaster University. So the area is quite well known, as well as most likely most of these sinkholes that we're visiting today. Jess has just gone down just to see if he can see anything that everyone else has not seen. I don't know. Let's see if anything today comes out of this. So that's what we mean by a joint. That's what's initially, directing the surface flow into the underground, and after that it's anyone's guess. So I mean, this obviously backs up. It's not a huge tunnel down beneath there. It obviously backs up into a little area that Jeff has spotted here, which seems to have a hole. We're about to just try and get down to it.
So we found in amongst these boxwoods or whatever, I'm feeling a really significant breeze coming out of this sort of little sinkhole here in amongst the boxwoods. I think that's what they're called. You got these red sort of stems. Wherever the red stems are is where the sinkholes appear to be.
So here I am down underneath them. So maybe that's an idea of having a look for sinkholes. And yeah, as I say, strong breeze coming out of there. That's worth investigating. It almost looks like further down there's something. I don't know if it's human sized, but it's definitely a tunnel of some dimension. This is like the mother of all soil pipes. I'm going to actually go down there. Seems pretty promising. Again, it's in a line. All these little patches of red. I don't know, what are these things called, Jeff? These red leaves, or what are they?
No idea.
Okay, no idea. But one, like we're looking. How deep is that? How deep is that? You can't tell by the camera. I think it's about 10 feet. So, stupidly, I'm going to actually go down there. Alright, this is pretty cool. So I'm at the bottom here. I can listen to this. You hear that? Running water. This is the rock ledge right here. There's the rock ledge. I know it's covered in sticky clay. This is a place for a dig for sure. Very promising. It's almost like a main conduit or something like that. So, where are you up there, Jeff? With the camera focus, see? So yeah, that's about 10 feet down. Now I'm gonna have to try and use a route here to scramble back out. I don't know. So, go. Okay. Thank you. So here it is. Several sink points in a line. That kind of orientation. Down at the far end, some significant air movement. A fair bit of sound there, but it seems to be trickling in from the side, from up there. It seems to be running in. And then here, some real good sound and a nice round sort of tubular hole breaking through the cap rock. So, it seems kind of promising. There's your moraine that's running along the edge of the valley that's behind it on the other side. The water basically that sinks generally is coming from this direction and sinking down, going under the moraine and popping out in the valley beyond. So again, I'm just following along the line of this joint that we've been investigating, not finding any more passage or sinkholes lined up. So Jeff's down at the other end, so I guess I'll hook up with him now and see what he's finding. So this is really kind of a very cool thing about going out looking for sinkholes and caves, and that you're combining the geology, which is what's underneath the surface, with the geography. For example, the moraines, blind valleys. You're combining the two together. It's kind of an all-round experience of the landscape. We're seeing stuff like these, deer and what have you. human interaction, how the human beings have affected what's taking place here, how the surface affects what's taking place beneath the ground. So yeah, it's interesting. A combination of all sorts of things when you're doing caving. So why am I not surprised? Look how clayish the soil is, right? It's just like clay. You can actually squeeze it out between your fingers. Look at that. That's not sand. If this was sand, it would be an entirely different kind of thing going on up here with the sinkholes. Clay allows the water to be concentrated into certain specific areas when it sinks. Right there. All goes down right there from this spot. So you might suspect that I'm really grasping at straws when I'm looking at these depressions and considering that there are caves beneath them, but it is absolutely not the case. We've had a great deal of success in the past in our speculations. This is an example of the much videoed tooth tube from which we dug just at the end of a dead end valley, and opened up quite a little tunnel. Here's another example of a place where we dug and opened into a tunnel system, basically partway along the Wasteland Waterway, which at this time still remains incompletely explored. Seems to wind down quite steeply. Here we are. This is inside Wasteland Waterway, some distance into the actual tunnel system. This is an example of a pile of bones we recently found in a cave that we'd been exploring. So if you're interested in limestone, dolostone, caves in general, consider buying my book, Caving in Ontario, Exploring Buried Karst.